In the meantime, with the market up all of about 5 points, let's get the read on how things are doing under this president, Donald Trump, whom the president, Carter, had some other choice things to say. United Capital CEO Joe Duran and Deke Digital Chairman Dave Maney. Dave, what former President Carter was talking about right now is this obsession we have with the markets. It's important, but sometimes we place too much importance on it and make decisions. I don't want to put words in his mouth there, but we make decisions we really shouldn't. What do you make of that?
I think he's right. I mean, I think the markets are an important leading indicator for the economy. And by the way, with the fundamental nature of wealth creation and when they're going up, that everybody has a greater amount of wealth and more zeros in their accounts. That's not a bad thing. So separate the two ideas. They're still an important indicator and an important kind of closely tied thing that we all should care about, but they are not the ultimate scoreboard, as you see when wages or real wages aren't increasing, but the markets are. There's a lot of noise that gets into the equation.
You know, Joe Duran, one of the things the former president was mentioning is this ongoing trade tit for tat. While he differs with this president's approach, he hopes that it succeeds and that it benefits American workers. He still seems to have his doubts, particularly our treatment of Canada. We're going to get into that in a second. But what are your thoughts on that, that if they achieve the results, the means don't matter?
I think, again, the markets are adjusting to a much more vocal and externally placed battle. We're not used to this happening in a public forum and on Twitter. And now we're getting kind of used to it. Like, well, we don't need to pay any attention. And I think yesterday was quite significant to get something done with Mexico. No discussion of the wall. None of the things that we said were bright lines. And we've ended up with what looks like an agreement that we hope is better for America. Very few of us have the details yet. But it says that this administration, for all of the noise that it makes in a public way, is still looking to get results. And if that's true, then we have less concerns about China, less concerns about Turkey, less concerns about Canada, because Mexico was the most prominent noise that we heard from the administration. So I think it's a very encouraging sign for all investors that, hey, besides the noise, there's actually good work being done.
What do you think of that, Dave?
I think this president has done terrific things for the economy. But I also think that the one place where his knowledge seems to be lowest, and I think there's a broad consensus among economists and analysts that he doesn't really know exactly what he's doing, is around trade. I read a very interesting commentary this morning which essentially said, well, look, not much is happening here. This has very little effect on the domestic content rules, only affect the Nissan Versa. It's the only high production car that's really caught or has to be rearranged how it's produced under any of this. This is kind of rearranging a couple of chairs in the living room, in the economic living room, and it didn't do much. But the commentary said, gee, you know what? If he can sell if he can sell minor furniture rearranging as a fundamental rework of the trade situation in the world, that's pretty good for the world economy. That kind of implies stability, and it implies that for all the rhetoric and for all the hot air, we'll get back to stasis pretty soon, and that's a good thing.
All right, gentlemen, thank you very, very much. On a busy news day, I apologize for its brevity here.